I wanted to talk about what I've learned about quality versus quantity. So this comes up when people are discussing like what skills they want to learn. Let's say it's essay writing or sales or YouTube. Like people always have the debate, should I focus on quality or quantity? So for example, let's just use essay writing as an example. Should I write hundreds of essays or should I just focus on writing one really good essay? And what I've realized over the past few years is that it's not so much that one is better than the other, but there's a particular order in which you need to do this. So there's like depending on the time, quality or quantity is better. So let's say when I was writing essays from the very start, this was back in year 8 when my English writing wasn't very good. Like the way to go forward from there is just quantity because there's so much I didn't know about essay writing. There's so many errors that I would end up making that I needed the quantity to really identify what all those errors are. And so that's probably the most important thing. Like when you're starting out, quantity is the most important. And then after I got like decent, and by decent I mean like B's, which is still not like a great, but still better than what I was doing initially like at C's. Then I moved on to focusing on quality. So I would spend like weeks focusing on just fine tuning one essay because when I did that, I would end up realizing how much like nuances and how much work is required to really achieve quality. And also it gave me like the time to really be able to amp up the level of my work to a level that I've never achieved before. And so that's kind of like my take on it now. Quantity is important. And there's a quote from Hermosi where he says, quantity matters because it teaches you how much work is required for quality. And that's right. So at the start, quantity is important because it allows you to not only do this, the thing I would like kind of like add on to this is yeah, it does teach you how much work is required for quality, but also it is necessary for you to produce quality. And so that's why quantity is always the most important at the start. And you may think of like the pot research example where people were asked to like make a pottery pot and there were two groups, one just focused on making like one perfect pot and the other were asked to make 100 pots, and the group that ended up making 100 pots ended up making higher quality pots overall simply because they had the quantity as opposed to the group that just focused on making one perfect one. So quantity is always the most important at the start, whether it's essay writing or whatever, and then quality is needed to really take you to the next level. So for me, essay writing just is an example that comes to mind. But right now, I'm focused on really just communication and I'm kind of applying the same thing. So right now, there's not much point in me just, making one perfect YouTube video where, I'm like communicating to the highest level that I possibly can, as opposed to just recording like 100 videos, seeing like how far I go. And then after I do that, then I gradually, work on like refining technique. And it's not like I'm going to like these videos blind. I'm still like preparing, so I'm not just like talking shit. But like the standard that I hold myself to is not like overly high. So it's not like a perfectionist like standard I'm holding myself to because when I do that, I ended up being paralyzed and not actually like taking action. And I know that to be the case with like a lot of my friends as well. When they like, because they typically like hold themselves to a quite high standard as well, which is amazing. But when that compromises like actually getting stuff done, it becomes an issue. So right now, I'm at the quantity stage for the skill of communication. So yeah, let me know in the comments what kind of skill you're focused on and whether you're focused on quantity or quality. It's definitely an interesting debate, and yeah, I'm just curious to put this into action and continue working on my skills that way.